I can do it.
Shalom lekulam. It's so good to see everybody. We are gathered here to commemorate. I'm Judy Friedman Kadish, and whoa, I am the director of Americans for a Safe Israel, AFSI, and this is our annual um, Zeev Jabotinsky Memorial. We're gathered to commemorate the life and legacy of Zeev Jabotinsky and to remember his crucial message of an iron wall in the Middle East. Jabotinsky introduced this concept as a defense against the rise of Arab nationalism, understanding that in this region, might usually makes right. Our keynote speaker today, Uzi Shimon, will certainly have more to say about this concept. Today marks day 668 of Israel's war on 7 fronts. The latest news confirms Prime Minister Netanyahu's announcement of a full takeover of Gaza and the elimination of every Hamas member who chooses to remain, a decisive demonstration of strength. Will the world be shocked? It should be shocked by the videos released by Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad showing starved Israeli captives Eviatar David and Ram Braslavsky. As Jabotinsky once profoundly stated, we do not have to apologize for anything. We are a people as of all other peoples. We do not have any intentions to be better than the rest. As one of the first conditions for equality, we demand the right to have our own villains, exactly as other people have them. We do not have to account to anybody. We are not to sit for anybody's examination, and nobody is old enough to call on us to answer. We came before them and will leave after them. We are what we are. We are good for ourselves. We will not change, nor do we want to. Close quote. The accusation of genocide against Jews in Gaza is a grotesque distortion. This defensive war, launched after the October 7th massacre, targets Hamas, a terror group openly seeking Israel's annihilation, which deliberately maximizes civilian casualties for propaganda. There is no Israeli policy of extermination, unlike the atrocities carried out, for instance, in Sudan by Muslims, or in Syria by Muslims against the Druze. Israel's campaign is against jihadists who committed horrific acts. You all know what they are. I don't need to enumerate. The world applies a double standard to the Gaza war. While millions flee other war zones and receive refuge, Palestinians are trapped. Egypt and Jordan refuse to open their borders, ensuring Palestinian suffering that can then be blamed on Israel. Meanwhile, Israel warns civilians, delivers thousands of truckloads of aid to Gaza, and has even created a daily ceasefire to enable aid delivery. Despite this, Hamas blocks exits and fires on humanitarian corridors, and Gazans receiving aid from the US-led Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. There has been no criticism of the Red Cross, which has not once visited and has only now, yesterday, attempted to visit the Israeli hostages in Gaza. Accusing Jews of genocide is an obscene inversion of truth. This is anti-Semitism rebranded as anti-Zionism. Let's call it what it is: Jew hatred or anti-Jewish racism. Israel holds the oldest and richest historical impact on the world today. Let us ensure that Israel continues to spread light and create the unimaginable. Israel is their story. Israel is our story, and Israel is your story. We cannot let Israel's enemies destroy it. Join AFSI in Israel's fight for its existence. Join us on our upcoming Chizuk missions to Israel to see firsthand why an Israel Shlema is crucial for a strong and defensible Israel. Through our missions, the deep relationship we've built allow us to receive firsthand information from people living and working on the ground. Become a member of the greater AFSI community and join us in safeguarding Zeev Jabotinsky's unapologetic iron wall. Become an active member and support us to prevent further breaches of the iron wall. Speak to us for more information on how you can help and visit our website at afsi.org. There are 23 Arab states and 52 Muslim states worldwide. The one Jewish state is a thriving beacon of life. It will survive. It must survive. Am Yisrael Chai. To begin our program, we are honored to have the amazing Cantor Zevi Muller deliver a stirring rendition of the Kel Maleh Rachamim. Cantor Muller?
Thank you, Judy. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Kel Maleh Rachamim, shochen b'meromim, hametzei menucha nechona, al kanefei ashchina. במעלות קדושים וטהורים כזוהר הרקיע מאירים ומזהירים את נשמת מנהיגנו הדגול, זאב בן יונה וחווה, שהלך לעולמו. בגן בגן עדן תהי מנוחתו, בעבור שאנחנו תלמידיו ומוקיריו מתפללים ביד הזכרת נשמתו. לכן בעל הרחמים יסתירהו בסתר כנפיו לעולמים, ויצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתו. אדוני הוא נחלתו, וינוח בשלום על משכבו. ונאמר
Amen.
Amen.
So
Amen.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cantor Muller. Okay, we'll now hear the anthems, and following that, Uzi Shimon, our keynote speaker, will join us and introduce himself and give us his keynote address. Uh, well, we're getting the words anyway. And next will be a katikva.
I cannot hear nothing.
Neither can I.
Mhm.
Unacceptable audio issues. Okay, we tried to hear the anthems, and I promise the next time we do this, we will make sure that the anthems are working. No.
Nefesh Fatemizrach kadima Ayin lezion Sofia Od lo avda tikvatenu
תקווה לא תלפם,
Yotam
חופשי בארצנו
Shalayim Yotam Chofshi Yerushalayim.
Okay. The floor is yours, Uzi.
תודה. Thank you very much, Judy. It was very exciting to hear your speech at the beginning and then to hear bye-bye. And also, I'm very happy to meet you guys. In the 20 minutes that I have, I would like to summarize more about the history of Jabotinsky and not to speak about the situation today, which I agree with every word that you said about the current situation. And obviously, it's not only this time for the Jewish people to suffer from this anti-Semitism, and we don't know if it's ever will end, but we just know that we have to handle it. And now I'm gonna go back decades ago, because it all started when Zeev Herzl understood that there is this problem, because before Herzl rised up with the Zionist ideas, Jews truly believed that if they will be together with other national countries, and if they will be maybe religious, then nobody will deal with them and the anti-Semitism will go on. But it never happened. And Herzl was the founder of the idea that we must find a solution. And we have to initiate the solution and not just sit and wait to someone to come and give us the help. Okay, so actually, he is the one who started. But when Jabotinsky joined the Zionist movement, by the way, he came up only at the 6th meeting, assembly of the Congress. Okay, there was every year one, and only at Congress number 6, Zeev Jabotinsky appeared. By the way, his full name, Vladimir Zeev Jabotinsky, he was a journalist, together with other things that he did. And he arrived and he realized and started to understand the situation and started to build up his view for the future. And he was actually the founder of the all right wing in the Jewish movements, because before that, we know Ben Gurion was leading the Labor Party, and that was all. There was only one Labor Party that was the main group that was led by Ben Gurion. And Jabotinsky thought differently. That's why at the beginning, his group called the revisionists, because they have a different vision, okay? Revisionists, it's a Latinic phrase for a new view, for a different view. And he is the first one that understood that the main problem will be at the future with the Arabs, because they will never accept the Jewish state in Israel. They will never accept it. Herzl was focusing all the time on the other nations, like the Germans, and he was doing the diplomatic job all the time to get their approval. But Jabotinsky always looked at the main problem, at the main challenge, which will be a war with us and the Arabs that lives in that place, which we call Israel, okay? Of course, then it was Palestinian, okay? They didn't call it Israel then. It was not a state. So in a way, Jabotinsky saw himself as the follower of Herzl, while Ben-Gurion also saw himself as the follower of Herzl. Both of them actually took the ideas of Herzl to a different ways, to different directions. So Jabotinsky started his activities and started to have his famous speeches, okay? At the beginning, he was focusing on the Jews of Europe, and he was urging them to leave Europe urgently because he was the one who anticipated the Holocaust. He has a famous sentence, "Chaslu et hagola lifnei she'hagola techasel otchem," which the meaning in English is, you must finish the Gola, the diaspora, before the diaspora will finish you, okay? Unfortunately, most of the Jews didn't listen to him. There are evidence of people that told later that he was standing under the rain in a big places and urging the Jews to leave Europe, but they didn't listen to him. And unfortunately, his war, it happened, and actually he didn't see the beginning of Israel, but he saw the Holocaust happening. And then his main force, his main ideas were that the Jews must change their concept of life, because for all the thousands of years, Jews were known as Am HaSefer, the people of the book, okay? In Europe, Jews were either Orthodox rabbis or either doctors and lawyers, okay? They were not warriors. For Jews, that time, we talk about the time when the Zionism started, yes? Jews were not warriors. A Jew with a gun was not something that so common to see, okay? And Jabotinsky believed that in order to prepare ourselves to that day, the establishment of Israel, we must be prepared to be warriors, because only by force the Arabs will understand that they have no other choice. They must accept us. He always said that the Arabs will not accept us without knowing that they cannot beat us. And to show them that they cannot beat them, we must be strong. And at the beginning, he established Betar Youth Movement. Actually, it was not by him, it was by a group of Russian students who met him. By the way, he was speaking many languages, and he was talking with them in Russian language. And he told them the story about Trumpeldor. The story about Trumpeldor is that story about the Russian Jewish guy who was an officer in the army in Russia, and he lost his hand in a battle. And he came with some friends, 8 friends, and established Tel Aviv at the north of Israel. Okay? He died in a battle with groups of Arabs, and before he died, he said, "En davar tov lamut ba'ad artzenu." The translation is, it's okay to good for our country. So this story of braveness of this young Jewish man, who had only one hand, and still he was shooting with the other hand that he had, Jabotinsky took him as a mythos, as a story to show the youth abroad, all the youth, the Jewish youth, that story for them to see and to get the inspiration from this story. So as he stood and told these students the story, when he left, they were very excited from that story, and they wrote him a letter and said that they want to establish a youth movement called by the name of Trumpeldor. That's why they established Beitar, which is Brit Yosef Trumpeldor. It was in 1923. That was the establishment of Beitar Youth Movement. And Beitar Youth Movement used to make camps all over Europe. And there in the camps, they were training the youth to use weapons. That's what they did. Now, the Labour Party and a lot of people that time looked at Jabotinsky as lunatic. They didn't respect him, and they even blamed him that he's fascist. Okay? The Beitar Youth Movement, they were wearing uniforms because he said we must prepare them for the war. So the uniforms of Beitar Youth Movement were brown uniforms. So people blame him that he's connected to the fascist movements in Italy because they were wearing the same color of uniforms. But he always said that he must prepare the youth. He must prepare them. And we saw now the anthem of Israel with the flag. And let me tell you a story. I joined Beitar 40 years ago when I was 16. Now you know my age. I just had my birthday this week. Okay? I'm 56. So 40 years ago, when I joined Beitar, I was meeting twice a week, okay? And every end of activity, we had the flag up with the anthem, and we sang loudly. And before that, we sang the Beitar anthem, which is also very strong. And if whenever you, I want to tell you that in 2005, I was Betar shaliach in South Africa. And in the Betar camps, it was camps of 3 weeks, okay, every time. We had 100, 150 people, students and kids. And every evening, we had a misdar, which is like the army. It's like we stood like this, in the shape of army, with a flag up, we stood and we sang the anthem, Beitar anthem, and afterwards the Israel anthem. And that was very, very strong thing for the kids and the students as well. And I remember that my colleague, she was working for Haboni, and she came to visit us. I invited her to be, and she was in shock. She said, I cannot believe it. It's like the army here. Well, what's going on, guys? It's like the army. I said, yes, this is the idea. This is the idea for us to if we look like soldiers and we sing the Anthem Israel song with a proudly, loudly. This is what we are. This is Beitar. I was very proud of it. And 10 days ago, I was standing with Ron, that you all know, okay, in Har Herzl for the ceremony, the governmental ceremony that happens every year with Bibi Netanyahu, with the president of Israel, Herzog. And I stood there with Ron at the same place with my friends from Beitar Forum and also sang loudly the Beitar song and the Israeli anthem. So it's very exciting every time. And it's very important because this is a part of Jabotinsky legacy, okay? We should be proud and we should be strong, proud and strong. And that's what will make the Arabs to understand only by force. Jabotinsky died when he was 60 years old in New York. He died in New York. He came to visit a Beitar camp, and then he died, okay? He died in the middle of Beitar camp. The father of Bibi Netanyahu, the father of Benjamin Netanyahu, was his assistant, was his secretary, okay? Like a personal assistant, okay? And they worked together, and he was there when he died. He saw himself as his follower, but Menachem Begin was the one who replaced him, okay? And led the all right wing to the victory at 1977, when the Likud by Menachem Begin raised up. And that was the first time that the right wing was leading the country, okay? After almost 40 years that Israel was managed by the Labour Party. Now, there are a lot of stories about the way that the main leaders from the Labour Party were treating the right-wing leaders and Beitar movement as well. But we are only, 2 days after Tisha B'Av, so I don't want to talk about that part of the history. I just want to focus on Zeev Jabotinsky, because otherwise I can speak with you a few hours. So I want you guys to understand that the ideas of Jabotinsky were all fulfilled eventually. And this is the amazing thing about a man that could see the future, and he saw everything in his mind. Now, unfortunately, Betar youth movement in Israel does not exist as it used to be in the 80s when I was a teenager, okay? But in 2021, I established the Betar Forum, and I told Judy before that, and we meet once in 2 months. Every 2 months we meet, and we discuss about a different part of his ideas, and we connect them to the present, to the situation. And it's always amazing. It's always amazing to hear that, because he really anticipated everything that is going on. We are in Israel, the Betar Forum, and maybe you, and maybe Ron, with the people that he also brought up to Betar this year, maybe we can make together a collaboration to bring his ideas back to everybody. Because unfortunately, the youngsters don't know him and don't know his story, don't know the ideas. And I told Judy that I will be happy to participate and to make a collaboration with you guys, because it's very important, this collaboration between people from Israel and people from the diaspora, Jews from the diaspora, to support the right wing in many ways. By the way, in my army service, I was a parachuter. Okay? I was a combat in the army, and I finished my army reserve service at the age of 40, as combats do. And I remember myself walking in Gaza as a soldier, very young soldier. I was 19. Okay, I was there in all these places that we see now. They don't exist. Thank God. But I've been there in Jabalia and all the camps that they mentioned. I've been there when I was 19, and I remember myself in the army. You get like a lunchbox. Okay, as a soldier, as a combat, we used to get food like in box, because there's no kitchen there, okay? You have to get it ready. And there were sweets. And I remember myself as a young man, a young Israeli soldier, when I was 19, I didn't eat these sweets. And I decided I wanted to give it to the kids, to the other kids from Gaza that I saw there, okay? I saw very poor kids running around, so I gave them sweets. And they took the sweets, throw them on the floor, spit on it like this, spit on it, and stood on it. And I was in shock from the hatred. I was in shock. I was 90 years old. I was in shock to see how this hatred starts from age of 6, 7, 8. Okay? I remember many things until now, in my age, that then I realized that they cannot live with peace with us. There's no way. And I'm speaking about the Gaza people specifically. Okay? The Gaza people specifically. So unfortunately, now we are facing this situation, which is very complicated. It's not black and white, but it's really complicated because of the hostages. I'm not going to get into it. So this is what I want you to know about Zeev Jabotinsky. And if you have questions, maybe you would like to ask me. What do you think, Judy? What do you like? I cannot hear you. I cannot hear.
I will
Oh.
mute. Yes, I muted myself just so that my little sounds wouldn't bother you. Well, how is Betar doing in Israel? You said it's not, you have this Betar group, and the group that you have is for people who served in Betar years ago, or is it for people who are currently?
Look, unfortunately, Betar as a youth movement does not exist anymore. The reason is more complicated. If you ask me, too much politics came into it. By the way, I was never involved in politics, and I don't want to be involved in politics. But some of my friends were involved, and there are different different explanations for the situation that Betar do not exist as a youth movement, doesn't exist as a youth movement, okay? We are trying to reveal it and to make it happen from the beginning. So we are now working on establishing a Amuta. Amuta in Israel, it's a institute. What?
It's you get nonprofit status?
Yes, that's it. Now it's a long process, and I want to do that as the chairman of the Betar Forum, because I established it and I'm the one who organizes it. Every 2 months, I'm organizing the meetings. Obviously, last time after the ceremony in Har Herzl, we had our own ceremony. We had our own meeting. Okay, we work independently. Now, no one is getting salaries or something. We don't need money for that. We're all working. We all, some of us having their own companies like me. We don't look for any support for us, but we need to have this profitable organization to get budget from the government as a youth movement, and from other people that want to contribute money for that, because we cannot accept money now. And to establish Betar Youth Movement, I met and I spoke with some head of cities in Israel, and they are willing to give support. They're willing to give a place, okay, and to support it. But we still need money, okay. You need people to work for it, okay. You cannot make a youth movement full by volunteers. So now we are planning to open this institute, and I hope that we will succeed and we'll start again to have it, because Betar were doing march at the middle of the cities. By the way, in Europe, the biggest one was Poland. Okay, in Poland there were 4,000 people from Betar Youth Movement. 4,000 people. It was a huge, and they used to make march. Imagine 4,000 people with the flag of the Jewish state and Betar in the streets of Poland, Warsaw. Okay, unfortunately, most of them died in the Holocaust, and there's also a story, amazing story. In the Holocaust, there was one time in Warsaw that they were trying to fight the Germans. Do you know about that? Do you know this story? Merd Ghetto Warsaw.
Warsaw Ghetto.
In Warsaw, there was a group of Jews that decided to fight. Okay.
Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, I think we call it.
Uprising. Yes, Ghetto Warsaw Uprising. Now there were two groups of Jewish people there. One of them was a group of Beitarim, people from Betar, and the other group was from the Labour Party. And unfortunately, they wouldn't cooperate together because there was a hatred between them. Okay, there was a real hatred between them in the ghetto itself, and both of them were fighting. But again, after the establishment of Israel, everybody in the school learned only about the Labour Party group that was led by Mordechai Anilevich, which was a hero, no problem, but nobody mentioned it. And only then, many years after the establishment of Israel, there was a German Nazi who wrote a book about his activity in Ghetto Warsaw. And he mentioned the fact that when they finished and killed them all, they found books of Jabotinsky there. Among the people he wrote there, that there was some groups, there was one group that they were shooting Molotovs and stuff like that, because they knew that they're going to die. Nobody believed that they're going to win. But they wanted to show that we will die as a proud Jewish. We will not just go and die, So he said, and he mentioned the books of Jabotinsky, and he said there was a leader by the name of Jabotinsky, and we found there some books of him. So that shows that Betar was even giving inspiration to these people. Okay, this is a small story. Yes. So that's what I want, and I'm saying that if I will be in touch with you guys in the future, maybe you can also be involved in that. And I'm not talking about money here. I'm talking about involvement. Maybe we can cooperate with Olim that will come from the States and involve them in this youth movement. By the way, we support every Ole that was connected to Betar from abroad. If I hear about anyone, I always support him. So you also can know if someone is making aliyah, you can give him my number, my cell number, and I will help him here. voluntarily, of course, to find job, to find a place. This is what we do all the time.
Yes, I saw in your, I know from your bio that you help Olim.
נכון.
What kind of work do you do to, I mean, I understand you work in the hotel industry.
Yes, yes.
So-
I arrived to the hotel industry only in coincidence, as we say. I was a soldier, and after the army service, I was working in a hotel as a officer, security officer in the Dead Sea. That's all. And then the GM offered me a career and studies and everything, and I did it up. 10 years later, I became a hotel manager. Okay. So I was working in the hotel industry 15 years, and then I established my agency 15 years ago called Serve Hotel that actually provides services to the hotel in Israel. We provide training courses, and we provide placement services of employees and managers.
So that's how you help the
Yes, in Olim Chadashim, it started when I was Betar shaliach in South Africa, and I used to send Olim, and they said, where are we going to work? We don't speak Hebrew. So I send them to work in hotels, because there in the hotels, they speak English. And I found out that everyone was very happy. People were very happy. People made friends there. And then I said, you know what? That's the best job for Olim Chadashim. And when I came back to Israel, I established my agency, and I'm now involved with all the Olim organizations and doing many, many things also with them. So you have mine now for any Olim that you know, my details, with pleasure.
Wonderful. David Goldfarb asks, are there any youth movements in Israel now?
Yes, the main one is Hatzofim, which is a natural youth movement. They don't have any connected to any ideological ideas. Hatzofim, don't know how you call it in English. It exists also in USA. Hatzofim. Don't know the English name for them.
The Scouts.
And
The Scouts.
Nachon, that's it. The Scouts. Sorry, I forgot. So the Scouts. That's the biggest one. That's the biggest one. A lot of parents don't want their kids to be involved in any politics or any ideology. By the way, also Betar was never the biggest youth movement in Israel. Okay, let me tell you, we were never the biggest one, but we had thousands of people when I was 18 and when I was 16. Okay, so I believe that when we will establish this, because I tried before. We tried a lot to do it, but we realized that we must have our own institute. Cannot do it because we were trying. We asked politics to help us, but unfortunately, it didn't work. So we still meet and we still trying to establish it.
Okay, so is it somewhat like our Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts? Is it just doing good for the community? Is that what it is?
Yes, that's the focus. And obviously, how to be a good man, how to be a good citizen, which is okay. But they also have arguments, because sometimes the Scouts want to open a place in Judea and Samaria. And then suddenly they make meeting and they say, no, we were not going to open it because it's not the part of Israel. And then it come up. You see, so they have also issues, but let me tell you that the youth of today, they are too busy, unfortunately, with cell phones and applications. They don't go out, unfortunately. Some kids from school open their laptop, TV, and it's a different time now. We have to admit too, not only because of Betar leaders, but again, the majority of the Israelis are right wing. This is a fact. The majority. The left wing in Israel, it's a very small number of people. You have to understand that. But the right wing as well has different levels of right wing. Okay? Some people come with a religious background. Some are secular background. Okay? And let me tell you, among us, we are 30 people. 30 people. All of us at the age of 50, around 50. And we have our own arguments too. We have also arguments. So it's not like one color. The right wing in Israel has different levels and different colors. Okay? It's not one square ideas.
Well, sure.
Even now about Gaza, we have arguments. Yes, some of our friends, some of our members believe that we have to conquer all out Gaza and to build synagogues there. Okay, and some don't. Okay, there are arguments, which is fine to have arguments. But basically, we are right wing, and as Beitarim, we used to participate in a lot of activities against the left wing, and I have a lot of stories, but
Okay.
not for me. When we were teenagers, not now. We did many things.
Barbara Fix has asked, and she is a member of Betar with Ron Tarosian. The young people and the IDF soldiers in Gaza feeling more and more towards a patriotic Likud philosophy these days. I guess
Yes, definitely. The majority, yes. The majority, because look, when Ariel Sharon gave Gaza back, everybody saw what happened. And from that moment, the left wing collapsed. Because what happened there, that Ariel Sharon did what they said all the time: give them the land and everything will be fine. So that story, that event, proved that it's nothing to do with land. It's nothing to do with land. As now in Gaza, there's nothing to do with food. It's hatred. And the 7th of October proved that again. They just wanted to slaughter us. That's all. So now the numbers of people that are completely left-wing is very small. People have to understand that. Very small. Even now, some artists in Israel wrote a letter that we should withdraw from Gaza, and many others attacked them about it. They didn't agree. So this is the situation. But you see, the right wing, the classic right wing of Zeev Jabotinsky has wonderful ideas. It's not only about force and fighting and war, as people believe. He was a very liberal man, and he has a very liberal ideas with regards to economy. Okay, he also didn't believe in kibbutzim. He didn't believe in socialism. Okay, and he was unique at that time. So I really hope that maybe I will meet you in Israel one day and we can have this small tour or something. Then I will have ability to teach you so many things about Zeev Jabotinsky and show you historical places.
I'm wondering, actually, my brother, Ken Friedman, who has been co-leading the last couple of AFSI Chizuk missions with me, was wondering whether you are familiar with the Sovereignty Youth Movement.
Like what? What's the name of them?
It's called the Sovereignty Youth Movement. Yehudit Katzover and Nadia Matar lead what's known as the Sovereignty Movement. And they were calling upon youth to come and demonstrate with them when they were doing demonstrations pro-sovereignty.
Where? In Israel or where?
Israel. Israel. Oh, yes.
Uzi, for Ribanut. Ribanut is what it is.
I would be happy to meet one of them. I will be happy if you can make a connection. I would be happy to meet everyone.
But they have what they call the Sovereignty Youth Movement, which has gained a tremendous amount of momentum. The young people decided that they didn't want to just be called when there was a demonstration. They wanted to have an ongoing educational program and an ongoing.
I will be happy to invite her to us to talk, to speak with us. I will be happy if you can make a contact between us. I will call her tonight, immediately.
Okay.
Because we are looking for collaboration all the time.
Yes, it's a good club.
But we are not. We don't want to become politics. You know, we are not involved in politician. No, none of us. We are not. I'm not a Likud member.
The sovereignty movement is not political, but in order to achieve their goals, they really have to try to persuade government officials, right?
Because, that's great.
And actually, my brother Ken just said he will meet with you and help make the connection. I think he's leaving for Israel tomorrow. So,
is he going to leave Israel tomorrow?
Leaving for Israel tomorrow.
Oh, perfect. So please give him my number. I will be happy to meet him for a coffee and then to invite him to see my friends.
Absolutely, absolutely.
By the way, all the members, some of them professors, some of them having huge. We have the commander of the army school in Haifa. One of our members is Stat Major, and also my wife. I met her in Betar. She was a top. She was a top policeman. She was a top, and she wrote a book now. This is her book that it's going to go out. Okay, it's Hebrew.
Okay.
So
We
they
couldn't
are
see
interesting people, the 30 people.
kind of, it didn't really make it onto the screen, but I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful book. But it's in Hebrew.
Yeah.
So
Yes, yes. It's just new, just came 2 days ago. So that's why
put
I'm
it,
excited
put
to.
it somewhere so that, can you see yourself? Ah, okay, now we can see. Okay. Pull it
If
back.
you want, I will send you a link to the
Okay,
story
very,
of the film.
a couple of more questions.
Sure.
Wilma Friedman says, why can't Israel persuade the rest of the world that it's not about land or food, but the hatred that has never disappeared? Why is Israel's public relations so bad? And we
This
all
is the
know
biggest
it's so
failure.
bad.
This is the biggest failure of Israel, not only now, through the whole decades. Unfortunately, big failure. I'm very upset. I'm very upset. Again, I can get into it. It's involved also with the Likud because, they made also some mistakes, but this is a big failure. I have nothing to say about it. It drives me crazy every time I watch TV. Let me tell you.
Yeah. I mean, now they're in Times Square, there's a big board that shows, I'm not sure whether it's which of the hostages it's showing, but it's some kind of
It's Danielle Evyatar. It's Danielle Evyatar.
guitar.
Yes,
Yeah.
man, it's
So
horrible, horrible things.
it's horrible, but at
And
least it will give people a picture. They're seeing these fake pictures coming out of Pallywood, and
yes,
yes,
yes, it happened all the years. Even when I was a soldier, I still remember. They are very, unfortunately, they are doing good public relations. Yasser Arafat as well. He was doing a great from his side, yes, if we can call it great. But he was an expert in this. Unfortunately, not like us. They won in this war. I must tell you, as an Israeli citizen, big failure. Some people say, yes,
oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
no,
I
it's okay.
to say that, with the Likud party in power, you would think there would be some government appropriations to enhance, to get some expertise in the public relations field.
We hope so. People demand it. And look, Bibi Netanyahu is number one expert in doing this, but he's not paying enough efforts, if you ask me. And criticism, it's not a bad thing to do, even when it's about Bibi Netanyahu, yes? So it's a matter of budget. It's a matter of interest, and efforts. Unfortunately, sometimes I hear what only people say, like Minister of Defense, we just talk about smashing the Arabs, and it's not helping us. It's not helping us. It's not professional to do that, And also, today, we have proofs. We can show videos, but it's very sad. Israelis convince Israelis, but they don't convince the world. You see? That's what's going on. The government convinced the Israelis that we are not doing what they said that we do. But what about the world? The world? And it's horrible what's going on in Europe and see on TV all the time. Even in Greece, Jews being attacked in Greece.
We have a few more questions.
Sure.
Alison Wexler Cipriani says she's moving back to Israel in the fall, and how can she be in touch with you? Is it okay?
Just send me a WhatsApp message upon your arrival, and we'll meet for a coffee in Tel Aviv with pleasure, anytime. I'm available all the time, with pleasure.
I will share the info when I send out the video, because Barbara Fix is
Please.
also going to be in Israel, and
With pleasure.
she's asking, school education in Israel does not teach Arabic or Israel's history. We know that should change, but what's involved in getting it changed?
Can you please repeat? I didn't understand the question.
The educational system in Israel
Yes.
doesn't teach
Yes.
Arabic or Israeli history,
Yes.
as they relate to each other.
Sure.
And this change?
Obviously, yes, and it changed a lot. It's a process. It's a long process. You have to remember again that the first 40 years in Israel were managed by the Labour Party. And in a way, they wrote the history the way they wanted. I just gave you a small example from the Holocaust, but there were so many examples. And unfortunately, it's a long process. It didn't end it yet, but there is a huge improvement, and we know it. many things that were at school that are not anymore. So this is in a good process, as far as I know.
Viv Viner says, I just left a JNF Canada meeting with Sharon Haskell defending Israel's PR. To say that it was critical would be an understatement. How can Jews, so great at PR, be so stupid and ineffective with PR? Well,
Sharon Haskell. Look, Sharon Haskell, I don't know what she said there. I don't know how she explained things. So I don't know what to tell you. I'm saying again that we don't have enough good speakers. I'm saying even some of the ministers, I hear what they say and I hold my head because I was Betar shaliach in South Africa for 2 years, and I had a training of 2 months in Jerusalem of how to explain Israel. 2 months. These ministers, they must have at least few days that people, professionals, will explain them how to do that, and it's a big failure. So I don't know. Very sad.
So I'll just end with a question about the Betar Forum.
Yes.
What is your primary focus? Are you focusing on education? Are you focusing on creating a youth program? Are you just gathering to?
But first of all, we want people that the youngsters will know about Zeev Jabotinsky, about his legacy, and will implement his ideas. When my son was a soldier, I was a soldier, and Jabotinsky was talking about the Jews that must be always proud and always being clean and always take care of the way they dress, okay? Because they are sons of the King David, okay? Notzarta ben Melech. It's part of the anthem of the Betar song. Maybe I would send you the anthem and translate it.
We are going to listen to the anthem as soon as you finish answering this question.
So it's
we'll have better
educational.
luck with this anthem.
It's definitely education. And when my son was a soldier, I told him, Daniel, any night you will take a shower, you will shave because you are Israeli soldier. Even if you have 2 hours to sleep, you will take a shower and shave yourself because you are an Israeli soldier. You see what I mean? This is education. It's in my blood. So I want the youth of today to have the same thing. So it's mainly educational.
Okay. So thank you so much. And please join us in listening to or joining in and singing the Betar anthem now.
Oh, with pleasure. I don't hear. Oh. I don't hear nothing.
Me neither.
I can sing it to you.
You sing it for us. Let's forget about this.
אוקיי, ביתר, מגוברי כבון ועפר, עם עבד עם מלך נוצרת בן מלך, וכתר דוד נעתר. באור ובסתר זכור את הכתר, עטרת גאון ותגר. תגר על כל מעצור ומיצר, עם עבד עם מלך נוצרת בן מלך, שאש להצית אין דבר, כי שקט ורפש הפקר דם ונפש למען העוד הנסתר. למות או לכבוש את ההר, יודף את מסע דם ביתר.
What a beautiful ending. Toda rabah and shalom, shalom.
And I hope that we will stay in touch for the future from now on, because now we know each other.
For anybody who would like to stay on after I finish the recording, which is right now.
Okay, I just want to add that when one member of Betar meet another member of Betar, he say Tel Chai. This is the way to regret each other. Tel Chai, which is the name of the place that happened with Trumpeldor. Okay? So Tel Chai to everybody.
Okay.
And the best partner is